How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to talk about how to create an experience that you desire. If you want to expand your wealth, if you want to move out of hurt, pain, and create a life that's so exciting, this is the episode for you. Make sure to stay tuned to the very end because we're going to do some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on this message and move forward into the day. So something that you have to understand is everything is frequency. See, we see people, places, and things. We see people living lives. We see houses. We see cars. We see bank accounts. We see nature, wind, animals. Like we see all these things and we think that they're a thing in itself. But it's truly a perception of something. It's an understanding of something, but there's something more to it and there's something more to you. I know you know that person where it seems like they always get lucky. They always happen to find money on the ground. Or you know that person where like things seem to always work out for them. You know, they always get the promotion. They always win the lottery ticket. They always find the perfect person for a date. Like it seems like things are aligned. Or it's the opposite of that. We know that person that goes from job to job and it's always the bad manager, the bad experience, this, or relationship to relationship. They go and it's this experience over and over and over. And when you realize that everything is patterned and the pattern creates a frequency and the law of attraction aligns those things. So your experience is based upon this frequency. See, it's the perception of the thing that matters. Everything is everything. What we see in it is really a reflection of our current state. One example that I always find really easy to understand is this. Think about you start a new job today and you're going into your job. You've never done it before. You're just hired. You haven't had any training. You haven't had any experience. You don't know what to do. And then they give you a task. They say, hey, you need to log into here and you need to create this thing for us. You don't know what you're looking at, and you've got a manual there that tells you how to do it. So you're looking through and you're trying to do it, but it's so confusing. Your mind can almost hurt as you try to process this thing and complete this thing. So you can't figure it out, and you look across and you see another employee there and you wave your hand to him. You say, hey, could you help me out with this? And so they come over there and you say, I'm new. It's my first day and they want me to make this thing. And so they say, oh yeah, no, I do that all the time. It's really easy. And they sit down in your seat and they knock it out in a couple minutes. You're both looking at the same thing, so why do you see a different path than they do? Why do they see a different way to complete it or way to get through it than you do? It's because their understanding of the thing is different because they've perceived it so many different times, they've perceived it so many different ways that it's different to them. When they sit down, they see what to do. When you sit down, you see a block. But what's in front of you is the same as what's in front of them. This is true in every single thing in your life. Now, the thing is, people are born with certain frequencies. Just like people are born with certain talents. Some people are born more athletic than others. The best athlete in any sport that you can think of, and if you're thinking basketball, maybe it's Michael Jordan, whoever it is, the best athlete never actually played. There's somebody that's better than who you think is the best at whatever it is, but they didn't do anything with it. There's somebody that had more natural talent, more gifts, more abilities, everything, but they didn't do it. They decided to go do something else. It's not good or bad. It's just saying everybody has a frequency, but what you want to become is up to you. You can change your frequency because what you perceive in the world will become you. Your perception is your reception. The more you start looking for something, the more you'll start to find it. That's why when you're suffering with depression or negative thoughts, it can be so painful because you get tuned into what's wrong because you're feeling it. You're not bad for this. You're not wrong for this. It's just the frequency you get tuned into. And so when you do this, you go into the world and you start seeing who's wronged you. You start seeing what's wrong. You start seeing all these lower frequencies, these negative frequencies, which is not a bad thing. It's just what's relative to you because that's how your mind is. But then you start pulling more into it. It becomes this spiral. Controlling your perception is the number one thing that you can do. Now, controlling it from the beginning doesn't change anything. One of the gifts of this experience is things don't happen in an instant. If they did, which we hope it for good, the bad would outweigh it. We are beings that are here to grow. We are not done in our path. We are protected from the way we think because of the delays that happen in this experience. Without them, we would have one negative thought and destroy everything and go so low in the frequency because there'd be no barriers to stop us. There'd be no delta. There'd be no time to give it an opportunity to think of something else. The gift is we get to perceive things. The gift is it does take time to change. The gift is that there's this physical barrier of reality that slows things down. So if it's a gift to stop you from the negative, you can't see it as a punishment or a problem for the good. Just know that your goal is a state of being. That's all you're trying to do. So when you become a positive person, when you become a healthy person, when you become a wealthy person, whatever it is that you want to do, look at what creates that person, research people that are like the version of you that you want to become, see what they talk about every day, see what they look at every day, see what time they get up, like look at everything they do. They have created a pattern. Now, there are going to be people that have the things that you want, but you may not want to be that person. So find a person that aligns with the type of person you want to be, the individual, and then aligns with the things that you desire to have or experience in this life. And they've made the blueprint. You just bring to your life what it is that they are doing. When you bring to your life what it is that they're doing, you start looking like they look, you start thinking like they think, you start protecting your thoughts like they do, you keep your eye on the things that they keep your eye on, guess what your experience becomes? It becomes the same experience that they are having. So you can change. You have this power. Wherever you point the finger is where the power is. So point it to yourself. Understand that maybe your way of thinking has created your experience. Now you might think there's no way. I didn't plan to be born in this place. I didn't plan to have the parents that did this. I didn't plan to go to these schools. I didn't plan for this accident. I didn't plan for all these things. You see, you're saying that this life, this physical life, is the dictator of your experience. No, you are a powerful being coming here to have one. You are coming here to have an experience that gives you the opportunity to grow. You don't grow in ease. You see, when you know something about yourself, then you're that thing. So when everything is negative or everything is the opposite of what you wish to be, but you still operate that no matter what, then guess what? You know that's you. You cannot be shaken from that anymore. That is your new state of being. So we don't want things to become easier. We don't want to remove the hard thoughts, the negative thoughts, the low thoughts. We don't want any of that. If that was the way to solve things, if God could just make everything easy, if God could just erase all the negative, then he has controlled you. But you are so much more than something that needs to be controlled. If we're made in the image, that means we're powerful creators and observers of the experience. So you create and observe your experience at the same time. You have to understand that it's not just true for people that have it all. It's not just true for people that are healthy. It's not just true for people that are wealthy. It's not just true for people that have happy families. It's true for every single person. And if your life is hard and has been hard, why wouldn't you take the perspective of, oh, I must be here for great things, so I came into a life full of tension, resistance, and pain so that I could operate outside of those, so I could learn to become that, what I wish to become, and know that I'm it. If you're operating in a painful life, but yet you're in peace, if you're operating in an angry life, but you're in joy, if you're operating in a poor life, but you're in wealth, then you are those things and your reality will shift to that. Then you know. But if everything around you is perfect and everyone around you is nice, and so then you're perfect and nice because of that, yes, you might actually be that, but you don't know. And probably what happens when the tide turns, when you hit that resistance, you will become what the resistance is, because you didn't learn how to lock in self. You were just a reflection of the world around you. So when the world around you changed, you just then reflected that. You are so much more than a reflector. You are a creator. So look ahead. Know that you're more, and do this. So we're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to breathe in, and we're really going to connect with what it is we wish to become. Really connect with it. See yourself in the future. It could be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. See yourself being in that moment. If you want calm in your life, if you want peace in your life, if you want joy in your life, if you want God in your life, whatever it is that you want in your life, when you breathe in, see yourself absorbing that exact energy. See it. And as you hold your breath, imagine yourself just experiencing. So you might see yourself rocking in a chair at this house that you created, with the family you created, just in pure essence of whatever energy it is that you desire. And then when you exhale, allow yourself to just keep you there. Everything else can fade away. The car, the house, the money, the family, all of it, let it fade away. Just see yourself there, whatever that's in that rocking chair, the hammock, on top of a skyscraper, whatever it is, see yourself there. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. Spend time on this future self. Don't forget it. Look at it every day. It's important. This is how we rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It'll keep you updated with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.